recorded the new Spirit of Vengeance Flashpoint on the PTS that's coming for 6.2. So we are going to walk you through that and talk about it tonight. That and more on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 361. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hey Seema, how's it going?
It's going really well, although I have to say it has been a cold 2 days. We actually got down into the teens last night, so yeah.
Crazy.
Don't leave a window open. Pro tip. It'll increase your heating bill. Yeah, so it's Thursday night. We just finished our ops night, which we spent running around inside Dread Palace, which was a fun night. And this week on Tuesday night, which is our open guild night, which we call mandatory fun night, where attendance is not mandatory, but the fun is. Haven't said that in a while. And we went back and did Eternity Vault as a group, and we hadn't done that in a while. And then we had a couple people that had never done it before, so that's always cool. And Max told the story as we went along. So anyway, that's always good. Then I think we went and killed. Did we go and kill? We went and killed a couple. At least, yeah, one world boss afterwards. I think we went to Hoth. But yeah, so it's been a good week. It's been a good week. I think I should buy a new thermometer. I mean, not thermometer. What's that thing called on the wall that controls your heat?
Thermostat.
Thermostat. I need a new one of those because mine, yeah, it doesn't work.
You could get one that the Amazon Echo would control, and then you could tell the A word. I can't say it, or she's going to speak up and start yapping while I'm trying to do the podcast.
I don't care if she controls it, but it would be nice if there's if I could do it with my phone or via the Echo, just so that I don't have to get out of bed. Like, it's too cold. Turn the heat up.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I've had a good week though. I'm kind of started to get, well, this is my deal though. I'm kind of get excited and anxious both about the holidays because that's my deal. I start thinking about, gifts and stuff way in advance because, well, gifts are fantastic. I want to find the perfect gifts for each person that I'm getting a gift for. And it can't be something they'll never use. It can't be a tchotchke. It has to be useful. It's like I have a lot of rules. So yeah, it's a big project.
Game time cards for Star Wars The Old Republic. Done.
There you go. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, the holidays are coming. I'm really enjoying The Mandalorian, and we were talking about how looking forward to chapter 12 tomorrow night. So yeah.
Oh, I'm so pleased with it. We won't talk about it because it's spoilers and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
no, we won't.
Chapter 11 was so pleased with all of it.
Yeah, and it's always a fun night too because we get together as a family and ordering pizza or, I mean, when I say my family, it's the family that's local to me that's in my bubble, and yeah, tomorrow night though we're gonna do grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice
so that'll be
thing.
fun. Yeah, so things are going great. How about with you, Max?
Also going well. Lots of fun things going on as we're grinding along towards the holidays here in the Midwest. Spirit of Vengeance, that's certainly what we're going to talk about tonight. That was fun to run through on the PTS. Great to see some new content coming. It's a flashpoint and not an operation, but still, I like it. I like the theme, and it's definitely a reference to what we were just talking about, The Mandalorian. We'll even call out a couple specific references within there. The swoop races are back, which I'm happy about. I've got a little bit to finish up on this week. That's why we're here on Dantooine for the podcast. MFN, I do like I like telling the story. Still, we just did Eternity Vault, and there were people that had never done Eternity Vault. We have new people come into the game. It's such a fun opportunity to talk about when the operation was introduced, what the story was, what it was like when it first came out. And then we have some inside jokes that we talk about, like, what our story is about Garge and how horrible he is. I like telling the story so much. I've talked about this with a couple people. We may try to get a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons going for the guild. We have some DMs and some
Mm-hmm.
masters of Dungeons and Dragons in general. I have never, I've never even played a full campaign. I've never DM'd, but I'm studying up because I like telling the stories, and I wouldn't mind being able to be the story master and kill my friends. That would be
Right.
great. So we'll
Right.
see. We'll see if I ever get up to that level to be able to make that happen. But that would be really fun for me.
I mean, I don't mind when you kill me in MMOs because then I just res. But in D&D when you die, isn't it like over?
I think it is. I think you could either re-roll a new character and rejoin the party, or from time, depending on the discretion of the group and how you're playing it, I think you might be able to have some heroic saving throwing going on of various kinds. But
Gotcha.
yeah, you're supposed to just be dead. Lay down, you're already dead. All right. With that, let's talk about the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
So the live stream was postponed. They had some emergencies that they had to work through. It has been rescheduled. It rescheduled for the 20th. So it's probably, this podcast is coming out probably on the 20th. It's the 19th right now. So it's tomorrow. You may, if you're hearing this and the podcast is the live stream is already done, I'm sorry, but it is coming out tomorrow. They had they had at least three special guests. One of them won't be able to be live, but she was recorded, and that's Carrie Walgren, the voice of the female Jedi Knight. So she's been recorded. They'll play that. They're going to have some other segments. They're doing this one up big. It's more of a cantina style stream and not just, you know, Eric telling us news for 20 minutes. It sounds like it's going to be a bigger event. I'm going to try to make it live, see what I can do to wrap up work early and make that happen. And hopefully I can. And we'll see what the other secret special guests are and see how that works out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it also. I I I asked her to make an alarm for me. So yeah, also we got some more clarification on how the login rewards are going to work in 6.2. We were kind of rambling about those last week, but as it turns out, you will be able to sort of log in on your own speed and complete a course of a month and get whatever the bigger end reward is. You won't have to like log in every day or you have to start over. Like if you miss a day, you won't have to start over, you just keep going. So I think that's going to work well, actually. Kind of looking forward to it.
I think
Uh,
that's something that we were talking about last week when we first started reading how it was going to work and trying to look at it on the
yeah.
PTS. I was certainly worried that you would have to log in every day that week to get the 7th day reward, and that's certainly not the case. It's so the way they laid it out with the three different calendars, you sort of get randomly placed into a 28-day cycle, and that 28 days is your days that you log in, and doesn't reset until you log in 28 times, whether that takes you 28 days or whether that takes you a year. So you get everything just as you continue to log in. When you get to the end, you get one of the other two reward schedules, reward calendars. So yeah, that's nice. At your own pace. Take it as it goes, and that's the core calendar. Now, what about the subscriber one? That's still 4 days during a week, right?
Yeah, I
Mm,
yeah, I think.
here it is. Yeah.
But it's
Uh,
not it's not intended to be the main reward though.
right.
It's just sort of a side thing.
So
And the end reward might be something you're not interested in, but at least it won't be repeated right away.
right. So every 7 days you get a treasure chest, a crate of some kind, in the core 28-day calendar. And if you log in 4 times during a week as a subscriber, and that's subscribers only, then you get a special crate. That's the subscriber crate. That one is within the bounds of a week. You only need to do 4 days though out of the 7. I like that too, so that's fine with me. And then they had a part 2 of their clarifications. What did they go through there? I forgot.
I think that's what we were just talking about.
Okay. And the,
The
oh, and
subscriber.
they also
Yeah.
said the 2 more bits of feedback that people were coming to them for was, hey, what kind of rewards are you going to have, and could they be more interesting? Can they be unique? Maybe it's something that only I need, and specific to me. I didn't read all of the feedback. They said they'll look at it. They're going to try to switch it up, but it's intended to be broad rewards that apply to the gameplay that everyone sort of has, and not like a PvP only, and everything that in the PvP schedule is only PvP rewards. That really wouldn't work out, and then that's not the direction they're going. Also in the news, the Spirit of Vengeance Master Mode has been added to the PTS, so that is on there. However, the PTS as of this broadcast, while we're talking tonight, is down. It came down this afternoon, and it's coming back up tomorrow. They brought it down just for our podcast tonight because they knew we were going to talk about the PTS. But
that's totally their motivation.
It is. They tried to get us. But nice try, BioWare. We ran through Spirit of Vengeance earlier in the week. We recorded the whole thing in order for us to have that recording in our back pocket so that we can
still
walk
talk
through
about it
and talk about it and show you what it looks like. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So nice try.
Nice try, BioWare.
You know that this is why they did it. Just tonight. Tonight's the only night this week that is down. So anyway. Guilden community news. What do we got going on there?
So the main thing is coming up on Black Friday, the day after American Thanksgiving, will be a mega. And Marcus is planning that to be a fun evening, nothing very taxing. And I'll just say, typically the Friday after Thanksgiving can be very hard to predict if there's going to be a lot of people with time on their hands or if there's going to be a very low number of people. So just come prepared for anything.
Right. And we're just going to make it a fun, casual night, it sounds like, is what Marcus is going for. That sounds good to me. I'm up in the air. I'm not sure what's going on. My kids are in town. They may be here. They may not. So we'll see what's up, and maybe I'll get on and see what's happening. Shout out to the chat room. Got a bunch of people, 20, 25 people in the chat room coming in and out. So Marcus in there, a bunch of the usual suspects, Sir Galahard, Zen, Seema T Witch, crazy name, I don't know.
Whoever that is.
Lord Vader, who's only got audio and not video, and is asking for a lower quality. I'm gonna have to look that up. So I think there's a way as a streamer that I might be able to configure multiple streams. So one is at the higher quality, one's at a lower quality. It's only going out at 1080p, but I will try to look that up. I want to get and if that is something that, or if there's some other way that it would be useful for me to stream or for us to publish the podcast, I love to hear that kind of feedback. Let me know, and I can try to make that kind of thing happen as well. Thank you very much, chat room. We'll talk to you after in the post show also. However, right now, the game, it is of course changing.
Game changer.
Game changer.
Game changer for...
Game changer for the industry.
It is going to be a game changer with 6.2. Not huge, but one of the key things that we're going to get is some significant story content. We're actually going to get 2 pieces of story. One is we will hear about what's up with Kira and Scourge and their search for Satil Shan. We're also getting a separate story, a side story, that involves a bunch of Mandalorians. So a little bit of spoiler. It's a separate side story. Yeah, I don't think there's not that much to spoiler. There's no twists. You know, Snape doesn't kill Dumbledore in this particular flashpoint. Could happen in some other flashpoint though. But if you don't want to hear anything about the new flashpoint until it comes out, then and maybe postpone and pick it back up when 6.2 is available or when you're ready to hear. Let's get into it. Should I ask the usual question that you hate it when I ask, Seema?
Yeah, sure. Don't
So,
you mean I
Seema,
love it?
what what do you think of the Flashpoint overall?
I like the look of it. And I felt like maybe because we were doing it together in story mode, but I felt like it was a good pace. Um, we didn't get to see the cutscenes, so in a way that's kind of a teaser, right? So now I'm looking forward to seeing the cutscenes.
Right.
Uh,
I think one was in, but most of them were not in yet, where it was obvious
yeah,
there should
one
be a
was, but I
cutscene.
I did not see it because for whatever reason it only played for
Oh,
you.
right. Yeah, it played for me even though you were in the group. And when it played for me, I didn't get what was going on because there was a dude. You'll see. We'll get to it in just a second. There's a dude in there, and I'm like, who's this dude? And why is he hanging out with me? And what is he talking for? So
Yeah, why is dude?
yeah, yeah. Why you talk? Get out of get. I tried to kick him out of my group. Anyway, the story. So we see I've got my Shea Vizsla companion out. The story is actually the Spirit of Vengeance is one of Shea Vizsla's capital ships, right? So it's the Spirit of Vengeance 2, and there's some renegade Mandalorians who obviously aren't at this point in the storyline. Shea Vizsla's the Mandalore, so they better. These guys, if they're sort of
They
getting
better be
on
afraid.
Shea Vizsla's bad side, they must be renegades. They're not, this is not the way. The commander of these renegade Mandalorians is Heta Cole, and we will hear her later in the flashback. I believe it's a her. And they're trying to assault this ship and steal a bunch of the priceless relics, which apparently include a bunch of skulls. We'll see that in a second too.
Yes, lots of skulls.
So we, on behalf of Shea Vizsla, are trying to liberate her ship. This flashpoint, we took it really slow. We looked all around. We looked at a bunch of stuff, and it took us about an hour in doing it in the way we were doing it. We were checking things out. There were a couple bugs that we'll get into, but there's 4 bosses. We'll show you each of the bosses. We'll talk a little bit about the setting because you actually travel between 2 of the ships, and we'll get you a good preview of the artwork as well. So I'm gonna hit play here. I got the volume pretty low, Seema, but you should be able to hear it. The volume isn't really the important part because we can talk about it.
Yeah, watching us is the important part.
Yeah, man. Right here, as you see, there's like a bunch of trash that, just a bunch of mobs that come out, a bunch of Mandalorians. Clan Varad seems to be part of this renegade group. When we were in here the first time, when we were in here last week, someone said in general chat, "Oh my gosh, look at all this trash." As we thought about that after the flashpoint, as we came back to this week, back to it this week, I don't think that's too much trash. I mean, there's plenty of Mandalorians that you're fighting along the way, but did you think it was too much?
It didn't trip my trash alarm.
And Seema's got a very sensitive trash alarm.
I do.
If you know Seema, if there's too much trash, like uprisings,
I start sighing.
Uprising's been like the whole thing is waves and waves of mobs. All right, so here we are. We just landed in the shuttle bay. You can see the shuttle out there. You can look out the window on the other side of the shuttle bay and see some of the other ships. There's it looks like 3 other Mandalorian ships, and they're connected by these docking tubes, these long docking tethers. That's part of what we're going to get to. But if you notice here, as we're clearing out this trash, and we'll stop, I think we even stop and go up there and visit for a little while with the fire and the skulls. So whatever it is.
Right, because we learned early on that if you stand close enough to that fire, then you become on fire yourself.
Yeah, we like to be on fire. We, in fact, a couple places that we set ourselves on fire throughout this flashpoint. But what's with open flame on a spaceship? That is a big no-no. You would never have open flame, and not even open flame, just bonfires all over the place in a spaceship. Yeah, I don't understand that for
Burning
one.
up my oxygen, man.
And I get that they're bounty hunters and they would take trophies, but there's a lot of skulls throughout this whole place. Like,
All different sizes too.
yeah, some really big ones, but a lot of like humanoid size skulls, like
They're all human,
piles,
yeah. A lot of them, that's true, yeah.
like skulls for the skull throne level of, bones for the bone lord kind of stuff. It is kind of creepy. So I don't know if that's Shea Vizsla doing. These are ancient relics, or they're friends that are. Anyway, a lot of skulls. There's 2 ships that you visit. This is the Spirit of Vengeance. This is the main one. This is the capital ship. There's a second one that you'll see, much more luxurious. No open flames. I think that's the and very, very fancy and done up. That's the ship that I think that would want.
Right. That ship probably has, a hot tub somewhere.
Yeah. All right, let's skip ahead a little bit here. And what do we got? We got the Rod Hounds. Hounds of the Empire. We've got more trash. And then we come down into here into one of the main cargo bays where one of the tethers is connected. Kill one more set of trash. And this is where we'll get the first cutscene then. So you click this console. Okay, here we go. Here's the cutscene. Elevator comes up. Here's Golga Brak.
Just 2 of you are causing this trouble. Ha! Clan Varad was promised an army to fight.
Now see, look at this guy. I make a
Who are
response.
you? What are you doing
Cuts off
here?
my head.
I'm Gorga Brak.
Obviously, they're still working on the
I
cutscene.
bring your death. Slaughtering you.
Yeah. See who's
will be
this
a
guy?
nice bit
And
of
then he
fun
starts talking.
before ripping apart the spirit
So
of
there's
vengeance.
probably more story.
Field Marshal Cole will reward me well for your heads.
Nice little
The
jetpack.
tiny one is wondering if you ever stop talking.
There, the tiny one. Who is that guy?
Yeah.
Called
You
himself
will
the
be
tiny one.
destroyed.
All right, and then you get into the first fight with Golga Brak. So obviously there's more story, and
It's a mystery.
we're gonna find out more. We'll find out who the tiny guy is, and I don't know. Maybe
Not tonight, but
we'll get there.
eventually.
And I think this is the only cutscene that we even get part of. We might get a little bit part of a second one with the. No, we didn't get the tether one that we wanted. We wanted to see us walking through the tether, and we did not get that. Hopefully, we'll get a cutscene like that. We only did this in story mode. They added master mode this week, as we said, although the PTS is down right now. So you're only going to see the story mode mechanics, but that's fine. You'll get a view of it, and I would expect at least these mechanics hitting quite a bit harder, and then maybe a couple other spicy things thrown in the veteran and master modes. Golga Brak, boss number 1 out of 4.
But I am unstoppable.
I am unstoppable. He really only has a couple things in story mode that you need to worry about. He's got an unload, he's got a flame sweep, which is right around him with a cast time, and that's just a regular flame sweep. And then he's got this firebomb. The firebomb is an AoE. There's a telegraph, red circle on the ground, and you do need to get out of it, and it sticks around for a little while. So you see me just getting a little bit on fire there. Took off half my health. It hits relatively hard. Don't stand in the fire. That's always a good move. Otherwise,
You will be destroyed.
he says you will be destroyed quite a bit, apparently. We can fast forward through here. Fight him for a little bit. Stay out of the fire. Not a big deal. Boom. He has an unload. Looks like you could even interrupt if you needed to. All of these, I don't know if they are interruptible. They might not be interruptible. But anyway, first boss. All of the bosses are Mandalorians that you're fighting throughout this place. The gear didn't look like it was set yet. So if you check this out on the PTS, I am wearing full 306, and all the gear that was dropping was like green 270s. So it doesn't seem like the gear rating is set up yet. And then what did we do? We came through here. Oh, and there's an escape pod that you need to jump into to get over to the second ship, which is called the Fortune's Folly. Let's see if we got a. I don't think we got a cutscene. No, we just appeared on it, and then there was more fire. That there I stood in, and now I'm on fire. And I saw if Shavis would heal me. And while I was on fire, then more trash started running in. So what did you think of this second ship? Did you agree with me that this is the much cooler of the two ships, decoration-wise?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it when we get to, but it has a very nice kitchen.
It has a very nice kitchen. First, you jump. So it's called the Fortune's Folly. You come into this landing bay. You have to fight through a little bit. Apparently, there was some fighting going on. Parts of the ship is wrecked, and you'll see that here. There's right here. Let me pause. Part of the deck is blown out. If you noticed in the feedback threads, there was a section of the feedback where they asked, "Hey, is the jumping part too difficult, too easy? What do you think of the jumping part?" Seema, what do you think of the jumping part?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I failed it, but it had a very quick.
Well,
like on the second time I jumped and failed, it moved me forward to where you were. So.
Well, I mean, you failed so that you could see.
For
You took one
science.
for the team for science, so we could see if you would be able to be teleported forward. And at least in story mode, I got to the end. Seema jumped in the fire. Well, you fell once, and then actually just came and jumped in the fire the second time, and did get teleported right to me just past the last.
The first time I did it, because I did it twice. The first time I did go die and go back and had to run back. The second time is when I got brought forward.
And I think maybe it's because I had gotten to the end by that
Yeah,
point.
I think you might be right.
Oh, see there. In fact, a message just showed up. As soon as I got to that last platform and jumped across, a message showed up that said "Clear the breach." Clear the breach. Complete. So we escaped the engine leak and we cleared the breach. Maybe that then pulls everyone else forward.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever,
That could be.
is it the Dread Seed quest line when you have to do the jumping between the vehicles that are flying over Corellia?
That's the macro binoculars
macro
one.
binocular. If someone gets ahead and gets to a checkpoint and you fall off, then you catch up to them at the checkpoint. I like that kind of catch up mechanic.
Yeah.
It would be really frustrating for someone if they were, whatever. It was just difficult for whatever reason, or they were, not able to get a lot of the jumps down. Just to have the whole group just be stuck there.
Or even if it's just your first time there, but everybody else has done it a million times.
Right. Which I'm sure is going to happen, and it's going to happen the day that they launch this. And there's going to be some guy that's like, "What? We're just going to go really fast. I know all the secret ways, but the back ways. What? You haven't done this before?" No, I haven't done it before. It just came out. It just came out today. Anyway, that's going to happen to one of you. Just tell them that Max said you were going to say this, dude, and you just need to step off. There. Just tell Max says step off. That's what you need to do. So we did the jumping. Then we can skip ahead here to 17 minutes. Because after you just fight some stuff in the corridors. And at 17 minutes, I think, did we get an elevator? Yeah. We get in this elevator. We pop up. And you come into a kitchen. And this kitchen, it's like 4 times the size of the kitchen that we were cooking for in Feast of Prosperity, and it is decked out. It is nice. In fact, there's some new stuff in here, and we're gonna show it in just a second. My favorite part, when I look up, look at that ceiling fan. I need that for my stronghold. Look at those ceiling fans. The lighted ceiling fan, very nice. So they did some work here. The big fire pit for grilling. The bug meat. Do we have to eat bugs? Does it always have to be bugs for dinner? And then there's all these war profiteer guys around that are non-hostile that you can kill if you want. Where's the recording? I forgot about that part. We can find it. The part where Seema shot one of them right in the face. We got up to some of these guys, Here, back it up. Here, war profiteer guy. And I'm like, oh, look at the war profiteers. I wonder if anybody's gonna shoot any of those guys. And Siba walks right up to him and shoots him in the face. So it's not that one. Hopefully we'll see another one of
I
them
don't
coming up.
approve of war profiteers.
Apparently not, because you just plucked that guy, bam, point blank, right in the face. It was like a one shot right in his face. That cracked me up. I'm gonna have to find that. I didn't catch it on when I was grabbing these timings.
Too easy.
Anyway, where were we?
Clean up this mess.
Sweet decos all the way across this whole thing. So it took us about 10 more minutes to get through here because again we stopped.
See, there's a droid right there that was serving drinks.
Here's the officer quarters. Now look through here as we get through this officer quarter. All this stuff lined up in the corridors. Bunch of really cool weapon racks. Look at these crates of like these these gold bars of precious metals, a bunch of the bounties in carbonite hung up on the wall. Very cool, you know, I guess war profiteer based Mandalorian ship that I approve of. Let's get through some more of this trash and you'll see more of the captain's quarters. Yeah, look at this weapon rack. It's with a bunch of different weapons. It's an assortment of weapons, which I really like, including that lance. That looks really cool.
Yeah.
The trophies on the walls, the beast trophies from Onderon, Osis, one of the O planets. Kill more of this trash, and then we'll go into the side room. Here. So here's the side room. We come hang out in here. There's a couple NPCs. Look, there's like credits on the table and drinks. There's a couple NPCs that aren't even the war profiteers. You can't shoot them. And they're having a little conversation, just looking over these gold bars, and they're like,
Yeah, there's gold
look
bars
at
everywhere.
Look at the Will Smith's baby species dude. He's like moving, you know, like rolling his hands over each other, going, "Ooh, look at my gold bars." And the other woman's like, "Yeah, look at all this money." So I like those two. Hopefully they have a story. But lots of great decos in here. We should hopefully get some of these decos. A big bed, the little water fountain. There's this is a canopy bed over in this other side with the foliage hanging down from the ceiling that looks really nice. I like that. Another one of those ceiling fans up above. We should get this from our strongholds.
I bet we do.
And look, there's some shelves with some. I thought they were
Books.
books. No, they're not. I guess they're not. They're bottles. That was
No, there
all
is
in
one
a-
with books.
Oh, there's the one with the books. So apparently these are very refined and educated Mandalorian raiders, renegades. So we checked it all out, got through it. Cool decos, cool art. I like this one much better. The style just much better than the Spirit of Vengeance. So check it out when you get to it. Skip ahead just a little bit. And we're going to go up to the bridge deck on the Fortune's Folly. So this is another one. So this ship is one of the ones that was attacking the Spirit of Vengeance. What we need to do is we need to get up to the bridge of this deck to disengage the tether. We were blocked from getting to the bridge of the Spirit of Vengeance. That's kind of the story that's going on here. So you have to jump over to the other ship to get around. That's where we're at. We're sort of fighting our way through here. Getting making our way up to the bridge of the Fortune's Folly. What am I clicking here? Clicking something. Oh, there. Reach the bridge. Reaching the. Oh, look at. I didn't even notice that there's a Rancor in a cage there. Lucky it didn't come popping out of there, Seema.
I know.
You would have been furious.
Yeah, I would have had to. Yeah, I would have. We would have had to kill him. Poor Rancor.
That's her secret. She's always angry.
At Rancors.
At Rancors. At Rancors. Yeah. That's my secret. I'm always angry at Rancors. Do you remember that line from Avengers?
Yeah.
And look, there I completed Conquest on the PTS on this character that was brand new. All right, so now we're up to fight number 2. So this is actually 2 out of 4. We're on the bridge. This guy is called Bask Soon. And there's a couple of the fights are kind of buggy. So watch when this fight happens. I don't think it's really working correctly yet. He's got an effect, you'll see it pop out, where it's some kind of tether. And a tether gets connected between like two players, and we even had our companion, and it'd be like between you and your companion. And it didn't seem to do much, but yeah, we couldn't figure out if once you get tethered, you need to come together, or you need to spread apart. And there's a bunch of errors popping up on the screen. I don't know if you just saw them in the screen. But there's some sort of tether mechanic here where you either need to come together to disconnect the tether or spread apart. And at some point, he'll even tether like him and 2 other people. Bunch of tethering going on. What else did he have? Did he have anything else interesting? No. Everything else. There, he just tethered you and I. See?
Yeah.
And I started running away, and yeah, it looks like you need to together. Yeah, it looks like you need to group up once you get tethered to break the tether. So check it out. I'm sure that you'll be able to figure out the mechanic, and it might even be more. I'm sure it'll be more important than Betting Master. Kind of cool. And otherwise, all of his shots seem to be instant. Fair amount of damage. You just need to like see he's got a rail shot. Nothing else seemed to be interruptible or something that you would need to deal with.
Right, and another thing, I think we mentioned this last week too, but another thing that we don't know if it's a feature or if they just haven't done it yet, but there was no combat droid.
Right, even in the story mode, we didn't get the overpowered super droid that assists you on story mode. I don't know if they just haven't put it in yet. Yeah, we'll see. So we fight him, and then we went and started looking around in these windows and watched what happens when we go to the other window on the other side. Oops, I'm gonna back it up just a step. So I was over here. I came over here to this left window. I should file this as a bug. I didn't even file the bugs. Came over to the left window, and oops, walked right through the window. Which is kind of cool. Then we got to see the art, and if you sort of look around the side, you can see there's. I'll pause it when I get to it, but there's one of the tethers here. So this ship is the Spirit of Vengeance. These are the 3 other Renegade Mando ships, and here you can see one of the tether tubes that you can walk through that are connecting the assault. This one they didn't even need to finish the art because from inside you can't see past this point. But however, when you walk through the glass and walk out onto the gun, then you can. And of course, Seema, what did we certainly want to check out then after we were standing out in space?
Well, I mean, you have to. I mean, you have no choice, but you have to find out what happens when you jump.
You have to jump. You're at a high place, and of course, then here's the point where Seema and I are talking to each other in Discord, saying, "What do you think? Should we jump?" Yeah, of course we're gonna jump. All right, go. We were looking around for quite a while. I was shutting it off, looking at all the asteroids. I'm gonna skip ahead, and yeah, here we go. About to jump off. Seema jumps. I jump. You fall a fair amount away, but it wasn't too interesting. But there you go. We jumped off. And appeared right back.
I like that we got to follow a really long time by
I like it
SWTOR
when you
standards.
fall. The longer
Yeah.
you can fall when you drop off, the better in my book. And I test lots of places. There's a developer tool set when they're developing the map. What is it called? Like a death zone or something like that? Do you remember the term?
Something like that.
It's a death zone or a death volume.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like death volume. And the way they design the map is they'll design the architecture of the map, they'll lay out the geometry, and then they place death volumes, which if you manage to, fall down a hole or you fall out of the map, or especially like all the places where you're supposed to fall, they place it's invisible, but there's a piece of geometry called something like a death volume. And as soon as you touch that, your character dies, and that's when you go back to the station res point. So they placed a big death volume underneath. I love to go and test where all the death volumes are and what the extent and limits of all the death volumes. One of the fun places to test it is when you're going after datacrons and you're up on some of those really high points. There's some places where some of those where you're doing the platforming to jump out on girders, on Corellia, on Nar Shaddaa, where you'll fall for a long, long time. And my favorite is when there's no death volume and you fall and fall and fall, and then you splat on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's the best.
That is the best.
So here, oh wait, Seeker's Vigil. So we're going to another ship now. So we did Fortune's Folly. We started in Spirit of Vengeance. We got to Fortune's Folly, and now we're over at Seeker's Vigil. So maybe we finish on Seeker's Vigil. Let's see. I thought we went back to.
I think it's going to be a
Spirit of
lot more
Vengeance.
obvious that you're going ship to ship when they put the cutscenes in.
Yeah. And here was another really interesting element. This,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's supposed to be a little transport device or whatever, but to me, it looks like the Wonkavator from the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And Seema, because she's buddy type 1 or 2, walked right into it. Me, buddy part 3, I was too big to get into it. But of course, like I even tried to go sideways. I'm trying to like turn my massive body sideways and inch my way into it. Messed around for a little bit, found a way to jump up on top of it and jump down through the hole. And then I got stuck and I couldn't get out. Jump into all the places you should not and get stuck. I highly recommend it. So there I am. I had to slash stuck to get out of it. Seemed like she could just walk right out. And I tried for a while too. More trash. More trash, and then something interesting happens. Again, it was buggy and we broke it. You come up here on the elevator to the Seeker's Vigil archives. Clear a little bit more trash. Here's some more of these Seekers on the Seeker's Vigil. Ashad Seeker. So Clan Ashad apparently is Clan Varad, Clan Ashad, and there's 3 clans, I think, that were part of these renegades that we needed to teach a lesson. Wait, here we go. Pause. So now we're in this room, the archive room, I believe is what it is. I think the whole group, this is supposed to happen to the whole group, and it only happened to me. Watch what happens. That's a little bit of a spoiler, but again, if you don't want any spoilers, this is the fun part. Oh, look, there's 2 guys up there. I better run up there. I'm out of range, and oh, it's a trap. And you fall down. You take no falling damage, but you fall down into a garbage pit, and there's a bunch of tentacles that start whacking you. However,
I mean, the
Seema
whole-
did not fall down.
The whole falling into a garbage pit thing just never gets old for me.
It doesn't. And then you fall a long way and you take no damage from the falling. You just take damage from the tentacles, which just starts smacking you. You did not fall down. I think the whole group is, I think it's intended that the whole group falls down.
Yeah, I had to jump down.
And then the other problem for us was our companions did not jump down and stayed in combat with those two snipers up at the top. And as a result, because we were still in combat, we could not use the elevator to get back up. So this part was a little bit buggy, but I like it. I liked the trap. It did surprise me. I thought that was kind of cool. It's a trap. And then we had to kill ourselves to get out of here, but you're just supposed to press that button, go back up. There, we just died. Went back up, got past that part. We escaped the Ashad trap. That worked. Kill some more of these guys, and then we get to boss number 3. So boss number 3 is in this room on this ship, which I already forgot the name of this ship that we're on right now. But here's a cool boss. So this boss is Troya Ajak. And watch what she does. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. So let's start this fight. You see the tooltip here? She has 2 abilities. Songbird's Volley and Songbird's Salvo. It's a long cast, it's a channeled cast, and these targets show up on your chest. I don't think the graphics are in. I don't think they're done building it. And it sounds to me, so there was Songbird's Salvo, which is sort of a shorter, and then Songbird's Volley is a 15-second channel. So if you watch, there'll be, like, see the big triangle that shows up on me as sort of a target? I think that's part of the Songbird's Volley. Clear reference in my mind to Mandalorian whistling birds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we're gonna get a really cool whistling bird style animation.
Yeah, that's totally what I thought of when I saw it.
Very, very Mandalorian Songbird's Valley. And boy, I wonder if they could, oh, here's what they should do. They should give us a toy that will do a whistling birds animation when you click it as like a recharge or something, and shoot the little missiles all around you. Anything else with, yeah, so everything else here I think was just, yeah, just the 2 songbird abilities besides just regular shots is all that seemed to came from Troya Ajak. So cool, I like it. Cool. Then, all right, here, pause here. Here's us looking through, and you can't get through here. This is down the tunnel of one of those tethers connecting the ships. Really cool looking view. I wish you could actually run through it. It seems like there may be a cutscene that shows your connection. So now we've come over to one of the other ships. And I think at this point we're getting back to the Spirit of Vengeance because we've gotten past the problem parts of the ship. We've disabled these other 2 attacking ships. We've taken care of the Mandalorians that were assaulting it. Here's the long tether tunnel. I want to walk through it.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to walk through it. There may be a cutscene. I think we ended up just having to click a console here. Back it up. What did we do here? Yeah, I think we just... Oh, this was after we already came across, actually. So here on this side of the tether, we clicked the console. We just showed up on the other side. And now I believe we are back on the Spirit of Vengeance. And we're at the last fight, and Hedda Cole has taken over the bridge of the Spirit of Vengeance. We're clearing the last bits of trash and get ourselves then to the final fight at the bridge of the Spirit of Vengeance here, which we'll show you in just a second. This hallway here, it looks like it's all open. There's an invisible wall here. A little bit disappointing. I wanted to be able to walk down that hallway, or if I couldn't, make it a big wall. I'm not too fond of invisible walls. I like the look of it. I like the look that it's a big long hallway, but make it like a big mesh fence or something then if I can't.
I mean, even if there's nothing down there, I would rather be able to walk down there than
right. Why not?
hit an invisible wall.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not a big everything's about immersion for me person, but it is immersion breaking.
I rage quit. My immersion was broken because I actually put on my Mandalorian gear and dressed up, and I got so mad I took off my helmet, Seema. That's how mad I was.
Oh no, this is not the way.
That's not the way. So that was a little weird. Here, though, we get to, as I said, Heta-Cola. Heta-Cole. Why did I write Heta-Cola? Nice, delicious glass of Heta-Cola. Heta-Cole is the last boss on the bridge of the Spirit of Vengeance. We step up, defeat Heta-Cole, and secure the bridge. And that's what will finish us off. This fight, little higher damage than each of the other 2 fights. We're only doing story mode. But even so, some significantly higher damage was going out on this. I would expect it's tuned to be one of the more difficult fights of the place. It also has a couple really fun mechanics that I like. Whereas when the fight starts, you get these sticky grenades stuck on you, and they blow up, and you fall down, and you get stunned, and you fall on the ground. You know my thoughts on that, Seema.
You love being stunned.
It's the rancor of abilities to me.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So there's the sticky grenades that blow you up and knock you on the ground, and then you'll see another really interesting big damage ability called Lockdown coming up. I think we'll get the ads first. There's 2 waves of ads in this fight. Coming up. Right there, zoom forward a little bit. Yeah. 2 waves of ads. I've wondered what was shooting me from behind. Shot up these ads. I wonder if you ran out, what would happen? Would it reset the fight? We didn't try that. Anyway, there was a healer. Killed the healer. Killed these 2 elites. Nothing too tough. Etta Cole comes back and then casts Lockdown. Lockdown lasts, I think, 15 seconds, and I didn't get it at first. And in fact, the animation was a little bit off at first, you'll see. And again, Lockdown is another stun ability. Very, very, very fun, but this one you can dodge. So if you can dodge it, then fine. So here, I step out of the first one. I think there was supposed to be a second one, or it didn't register me out of that first one. If you do not get out of these lockdown circles, you take a lot of damage and you get stunned and shocked like that. Hedda Cole will cast Lockdown again. You'll see here in just a second. As long as you keep running around, all of Hedda Cole's damage seems to be melee range in this phase of the fight.
I'm enjoying this diversion.
Here. Now I'll keep running, and during this 15-second cast of Lockdown, I drop all of these circles. If you stay out of all of them, you won't get stunned. You can see Hedda Cole's voiced. I don't know who the voice actor is, but she sounds pretty cool.
Still alive? Impressive.
Impressive. I'm enjoying this diversion. That's what she said. So Hedda Cole's got the sticker grenades, it's got the ads, it's got
I'm enjoying this
dash
diversion.
ability where she comes up and stabs you. She's got the lockdown. We gotta drop all the circles, hopefully not on your friends. Why did I not try to drop it on my friends?
Well, you just weren't thinking.
I was not. She jets off again. More ads come up from 2 different directions. Kill the ads. And then finish the fight. So nothing too crazy. Story mode is pretty straightforward. There's 4 Mandalorian bosses that you fight to take back over to clear the assaults from the other 2 ships. You get to visit both of those other 2 ships, and then you take back over the bridge of the Spirit of Vengeance. Shae Vizsla should be pretty happy that you did that for her. Shae Vizsla's my companion, so of course I'm going to do that for her. And here she is, helping in the fight even. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. How about you, Seema?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the cutscenes.
I'm looking forward to the cutscenes. I'm looking forward to the story, finding out who the skinny guy was, seeing anything else.
Tiny one.
I wonder
Someone
if
clean up this mess.
Shae Vizsla will be part of the story.
Ooh. I wonder if she'll have a special dialogue line somewhere.
Oh, like if you bring her, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in fact, if they haven't thought of that, there's an idea, BioWare. If you bring Shae Vizsla as a companion, if you've ever done the Foundry, I believe it happens in the Foundry.
Yeah.
If you bring HK-51 to the HK-47 fight in the Foundry, they'll have a little bit of banter back and forth. HK-51 says, "Don't worry, this is I'm a more advanced model," and then HK-47 comes back and says, "You're an inferior copy. I'm the original." Here we're going to look out the window and see a little bit better view of the Mandalorian renegade assault ships. they're quite nice. I like this design. There's the one. Go back. There, that one. I'll come up here to the window, hopefully. I know I paused at some point. Look out the window. Oh, this is where I was trying to get out the window again. And I did not
We
make
thought
it
we-
out the window.
Yeah, we thought we could find another escape point.
I like the rounded view of those assault ships, and there's Arabesh writing, which I did not translate. We should call up Intisar and have him translate what it says on the outside of that assault ship. There. See? That's a cool looking view of it. There's the tether connecting it. I like the rounded view, and I like the Arabesh writing on the outside, and the view of this kind of the bridge. Anyway, cool. Glad we got a chance to run through it. Interested to see what it looks like in Vet Master Mode. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of additional spins on the mechanics, and they'll be hitting quite a bit harder. We'll grab some people, we'll do it, and have quite a bit of fun. Anything else before we wrap up this one, Seema?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
I think this is pretty much it. Hope everyone has fun as we get into this in 6.2. Do we ever find out when 6.2 is actually coming? When it's going to get published? I don't think we did yet, did we? Maybe they'll announce it
We
tomorrow.
find out tomorrow. Yeah.
That would be interesting. Wonder if we'll find anything else out tomorrow. Any other big surprises coming in the near future? I would really like that if we did.
Do you
Keith-
predict any?
Oh, there you go. All right, let's finish it up with a prediction. I'll give you a second to think, and I'll just make up something random and ridiculous. My prediction is Malgus becomes the Emperor. Malgus assaults.
Oh,
He's off the leash, right? He's
Right, he's
Malgus
off the leash.
Unchained. He comes back, kills half the council, takes over. He becomes the Emperor, and I would salute him. I want Malgus as my Emperor. There's my prediction, Seema. And they're gonna make allusions to that and the cantina tomorrow. What's your prediction?
we're gonna find Satil Shan, and she's a Force ghost.
A Force ghost. She already bit it, but she's
Yeah.
gonna be hanging out with Mar, because
Yeah,
Mar's
with
a
Darth
Force
Mar.
ghost.
Right, and they're going to be a couple.
Yeah, they seem to have a little thing going on there, didn't they? By the end,
They're going to be a Force ghost couple.
although in some of our stories, spoiler, I guess, Jace Malcolm is dead. Only for some of us, but not for
Yeah.
others of us. But if Jace Malcolm is dead, does he get to be a Force ghost or not? And then what are we doing with the little... Now we've got a little love triangle going. Satil Shan, Jace Malcolm, and Darth Mar.
Yeah, good point.
I think this is going to be a whole spin-off. It's going to be a whole Twilight thing. Are you going to be on Team Mar
Oh my,
versus Team Malcolm?
don't call
They're-
it a Twilight thing.
T-shirts are going to be made. That's Seema's prediction. I'm not going to lay that one on you. Jace isn't Force sensitive, but wouldn't that be sad if Satil and Mar get to be Force ghosts and Jace Malcolm just evaporates?
Right. Starry Saber says Suresh returns. That's interesting. Control to take over the Empire and Republic.
That's very interesting. Malgus would smack Suresh down in a second, though. All right. I like the predictions. Write them down. We'll see if they come true. If they don't, we'll never speak of this again. If they do, we will talk about it incessantly and prove that we are prescient and psychic. With that, I think we can wrap up this podcast tonight. EPC 361 is ready to broadcast this out to all of you. Hopefully you get it before the cantina tomorrow night, because we told you to go see the cantina. If not, hopefully you saw the cantina event or watch some of the recordings. They will be publishing recordings out of the November 20th cantina throughout the week after the cantina, is the way they described the way that would be going out. Our podcast will also continue. We will not be doing it next week because it is American Thanksgiving. It's also my delayed Canadian Thanksgiving. I group them all both on one day. Just happens to be on the American Thanksgiving Day. If you want to find out when our next podcast will be, which will be 2 weeks from Thursday, you can follow us on Twitter. Check out my feed. I always post it there at Max the Gray. And if you know anybody that should be playing with us, that's the reason we do this podcast. Send them to us at aie-guild.org. In the upper right is our guild Discord. We're on the Starforge server with a guild on both the Republic and the Imperial side. We would love to have you. We'll get you a guild invite. We just added someone in tonight that had been listening to the podcast recently and said, I think I should join the guild. That was awesome. So welcome. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.